Your page too, right?
Yeah. 1 second though.
So I haven't up yet.
Yeah, you're gonna give it a second. It's probably up and live though.
I'm gonna check on your page then.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours is on.
Okay. Okay, I see it too. All right, we just get started. I'm sure that one's live too. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
We want to give all glory, honor, and praises to
Yahweh,
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, the room, and teach well. Peace up, salutation to the elect, 144 first fruit. All right, as you can see from the title of the lesson or the stream, Revelation chapter 9 overview. It's not going to be in-depth breakdown. There's plethora of breakdowns of Revelation 9. Shoot, even on my page, there's a breakdown of Revelation 9. Elders, apostles have breakdowns of Revelation 9. We just want to get an overview of it, a starting point for, I guess you could say, Revelation 9 for beginners. You know what I'm saying? A starting point to where to go so you can understand. What we're going to do here is pretty much, we're going to go through the entire chapter pretty swiftly, get notable names, and then break down notable things that you know can understand in this chapter. You got any opening words?
No, man. If I can say, and also this concerning prophecy is going to cover World War I, World War II, and one of the main prophecies that we're still waiting on, World War III. You know, for those who don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it, bro.
Yep. Gone. So without further ado, we can get it started in Revelation 9:1.
This is Revelation chapter 9 and verse 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
So just what we're gonna paint the picture on there, and I'm gonna really let this brother spearhead it.
Okay.
But what you need to know with the bottomless pit equals Europe. You know what I'm saying? All right. So of course we're speaking about the fifth trump. So this is speaking about World War I. So that's between the time period of 1914 to 1919. If you could pull that up, just to, just to be sure, 100% sure. All right, because it's going to clear it up too later in the chapter when it speaks about the 5 months.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, yeah, we can show that on screen, matter of fact.
Yep. Hold on, I'm gonna show it on both screens.
Yeah, come on.
It's backwards.
It's cool, but
Yeah.
1914 to 1919, what did it say, July or June?
Yeah, July 28th, 1914 through, it says 1918, but according to prophecy, we already know
It's 1919.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, pull up the Treaty of Versailles, which is spoken about in the same chapter as well, which we'll get to. And there's, when was it? When was the Treaty of Versailles?
I'm gonna put that in date.
See?
Yep. June 28th, 1919.
1919.
Yep.
All right. Because the Treaty of Versailles was something that ended it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep going. Verse 2.
Okay, continuing on in Revelation chapter 9 and verse 2. And he opened the bottomless pit, which brother said was Europe. And there arose a smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. Verse 3. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth.
And you got this.
And unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth, as the scorpions of the earth have power. So we all know it's not talking about literal locusts, but during that time, John the Revelator, he's not going to say, World War I planes, because how can I put it? You can help me. He couldn't comprehend how to put it the best way he could.
There was no such
Compare it, yeah.
there was no such thing as planes in 96 AD.
Yeah, basically.
There was no such thing as aviation in 96 AD. So he had to try to explain it the best way he could. And what flies? Locusts.
Locusts, yep.
And what makes that deep kind of propeller noise that we hear as in a natural noise? Locusts or cicadas.
Yeah, cicadas.
When they fly past you, shit, even a wasp, that low bass humming noise, and that's what you hear from the propellers, and that's what he was trying to describe. As you know, he was given a vision. He was given a vision. Okay, you think the Lord's going to give him a vision of insects? He's going to give him a vision of what's to come. All right, same thing he did with Ezra, Daniel, Isaiah, Jeremiah. So he's going to give that vision. You have something?
Yeah, I had something right quick. I'm going to show on both cameras because I'm going to show the characteristics of a locust. As you can see right here, this is a locust. You see that? And basically, if I put in World War I planes, which I did already, again, like the brother said, he's not going to see a vision on actual insects, but this is what basically John the Revelator saw. You see the comparison?
Similar shape.
The plane has 4 wings, okay? Now, if I go back to this picture, also, the locust has 4 wings. So basically those are the World War I planes that John the Revelator witnessed, okay?
Yep.
And then the part where it says in verse 3, it says, as the scorpions of the earth have power, because what's so significant about a scorpion? They sting with their tail, okay? So you have certain planes during that time, World War I, World War II. Hell, even today, okay, even though certain planes got updated, but they can shoot now, all right? So basically, you have a machine gunner at the end of the World War I plane shooting at other planes or people, all right? So John the Revelator described the planes as well as locusts and scorpions, okay?
Yep.
So continuing on, if you didn't want to add anything.
Yeah. This is because we're explaining this thousands of years later. So this is Psalm chapter 119 and 100. It says, I understand more than the ancients because I keep thy precepts. All right. So we're keeping the precepts all the way up to today. Our apostles and elders have kept the precepts all the way up to today in order to break down Revelation 9. Therefore, we understand what he's talking about. All right. So the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, you could take it all the way back, but let me just say, of Great Millstone, they broke this down with diligent studies. Going to the library, there was no such thing as a blue letter Bible, or they couldn't just simply Google. They did thorough laboring. Okay. Matter of fact, pull up Matthew real quick. Matthew, shoot. Matthew, I think 11.
What you trying to get?
Let me see. I think it's Matthew 11 was talking about his yoke. Yeah, Matthew 11 and 28. That's what I want. Just Matthew 11 and 28. That's the script.
This is Matthew chapter 11 and verse 28. And it's in red, so this is Yahushua speaking. It says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
Right. So the apostles and elders of Great Millstone have labored and are heavy laden to come up with this, to reveal this revelation to men like me and Zachariah, to give an overview for you. So you have to pay homage. You know what I'm saying? All right? Because these are, Revelation 9 is a dark saying. And give Proverbs the first chapter real quick. Proverbs like one in like start at 5, 1 and 5 or something like that.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, starting around excuse me, starting around verse 5. And it reads, a wise man will hear
Yep.
and will increase learning.
Yep.
And a man of understanding shall attend unto wise counsels.
There you go. So we read Matthew 11 and 28. Those that labor and are laden. Okay. Those are the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, starting from Apostle Tahar on down, Apostle Kabar, Apostle Ricard, Apostle Ramlab. Then you start getting into the bishops, because they have their own page.
Yep.
The bishops go live. Elder Menatazak, Elder Ayathun, Elder Ainab, Elder Zakaran. The list goes on. You know what I'm saying? These men have labored for us to get this understanding. And when it talks about what it just read in Proverbs 1 and 5, a wise man will listen and attain to wise counsel.
Yep.
Those are the wise men you attain to. All right, keep going.
Continuing on in Proverbs, verse 6, 1 and 6, and it says, to understanding a proverb in their
Interpretation.
yeah, the water interpretation, excuse me, the words of the wise and their dark sayings.
Right, because after, what was that, verse 6? Because after verse 5 it had a colon, which means explanation. So verse 5 was saying, you will listen to a wise man, colon, explanation, to understand these dark sayings. So going back to Revelation, the 9th chapter, it's a dark saying which we're reading right now. All right? It's a dark, and we're just overviewing it. And we're already multiple precepts in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we already understand by verse 1 and 2 and 3, which this brother just beautifully broke down. This is speaking about World War I. And verse 3 is starting to give example of the plains, likened unto a locust. Okay? We know more than the ancients because of the precepts. Precepts means a charge or a commandment. We still keep the commandments thousands of years later, which brings forth thousands of years of understanding all in one. Therefore, we can break this down now and understand what this was talking about and understand that this did come to pass. All right? So, one more point, because John the Revelator was likening these plains unto locusts, and then you said you got to the part with the
Scorpions.
Scorpions?
Yes.
Keep explaining it, bro, because I think I cut you off. Salaki.
Well, like I said before, it says, I'm just reread it. This is Revelation chapter 9 and verse 3. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, which we already went into, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. Okay? Now it's describing, he also says these planes was as scorpions as well, just due to the fact, what's so significant about a scorpion, all right? All their power, or how the way they hunt, etc., or defend themselves, is within them that tail right there. You know, you get stung, it hurts, okay? And they could possibly kill you, all right? So upon those planes, you will have your machine gunners, okay? And hey, if you get hit, man, you through, all right? They was there to defend and to kill,
Right.
okay? So that's basically what he saw.
Right.
That's the best way he can describe how the way it was during that time.
Yep. So just to bring a further point on home for maybe naysayers who think this is out the ass. When we say that John the Revelator is explaining the best possible way he can explain a World War I plane with locusts and scorpions. Let's give a plane, a warplane of modern time. All right? And just to bring the point even further home, I used to be in the military. Okay? I used to be in the military, so I know what this plane is. And they describe it as a warthog. Why would they describe it as a warthog? All right? The plane is called an A-10 Thunderbolt or an A-10 Warthog. And they describe it as a warthog because of the sound that it makes when, I think it has like a 35 millimeter machine gun on the front end of it. All right? And when it shoots, it sounds like it sounds like that, and they call it a warthog because that's how they explain it.
Yep.
You know, so that's exactly what John the Revelator is doing. And if you don't believe me, go look up what an A-10 Warthog is and go watch videos on it, and you'll hear the machine gun making that low, deep, grunting sound like a warthog does. That's why they call it that. So it's the same thing that John the Revelator was doing with these airplanes. So locust with a scorpion tail on the end of it. All right.
And then I also got,
You got pictures?
it's more history, more proof. Okay. I'm gonna show it right here first. You see, these are the planes right here. Hold on, let me. Can't really. Hold on.
Pull up a image.
Yeah. Trying to get a good one.
Yeah.
Something like this. You see the plane right here? And you see the gunner, okay, holding the machine gun. And there's many other images, you know what I'm saying? Just look it up.
Yep.
Here it is right here as well. See this? So yeah, man, those are the gunners on those planes.
And here's the airplane that I was talking about. They call it the A-10 Thunderbolt or the A-10 Warthog. All right. I think not too long ago, they just discontinued these planes for combat. But these planes have a lot of kills in combat. All right. So look what I typed in. A-10 Warthog, and it pops right up. A-10 Warthog. Then pops right up. They call it a Warthog because of the sound that it makes. So it's the same thing that John the Revelator, he calls it a locust because that's the sound that it made. You hear them propellers, you know? So let's keep going.
Kind of going back to Revelation chapter 9 and verse 4. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of the Most High in their foreheads.
So get Ezra's 9 and 4.
God.
Because there's two different marks that are, so like Ezekiel 9 and 4. So like, yeah. There's two different marks that the Bible speaks of. You got the mark that's spoken about in Revelation 13 and Revelation 14, and then you got the mark that's speaking about
In Revelation 13.
Ezekiel. No.
God.
Yep.
This is Ezekiel 9 and verse 4. And it reads, And the Lord said unto them, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Yep. That sign, that cry, it says set a mark on their foreheads,
Mm-hmm.
and that Hebrew word for mark
Yep.
is thawad. Okay, all right, that's that Hebrew word there. And then you got the other mark that's spoken about in Revelation 13 and Revelation 14. Okay, two different. All right, so reread verse 4 in Revelation 9.
Kind of reading verse 4 in Revelation 9.
And we're just going quick over this, so go ahead, bro.
God, and it reads, And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of the Most High in their foreheads.
That's right, which have not the seal. All right, so the ones who did have the seal were the ones, you know, it was probably destinated all right,
Mhm.
that were just so happened to fight in the war and ended up surviving. You know what I'm saying? Which, real talk, some of them are probably our great grandparents
Yeah.
that were in that, or us.
Mhm.
Some of us actually fighting in World War One that the Lord kept. All right.
Yeah.
Everybody else who didn't have that mark or who were not predestined got slaughtered. All right. Straight up. So let's keep going.
Con. Revelation chapter 9 and verse 5. And to them it was given that they should not kill them,
Yep.
but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man.
Right. So you can explain that.
Yeah, so the part, I'm just reread it.
Yep,
And
yep.
to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. Now, the 5 months, represents 5 years.
Yep.
Okay? And then actually, hold on. Let me do some research right quick, because you have individuals who actually survive, but it's going to get into the torment part, the gruesome part of it. All right, and then it says what? And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. Again, the scorpion, or the tail of a scorpion, represents the gunners. So those gunners was hitting people. You got individuals who got struck by those bullets and end up, missing a leg, all right, or half of their, face blown off, okay, or their arm or whatnot, all right. So I'm gonna pull up images right quick on some individuals. And matter of fact, I remember in elementary school, we had an individual who fought in World War One. He was old. I don't know if he's, still here, but he was showing us certain things, bullets, certain medals he achieved in the war and stuff like that. So this is real news, man. This is real history, So World War One, let me see.
You can do World War One injuries.
Yeah, injuries. Injury photos.
Just pull that one up.
This one right here?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, nah, that's not even. I want a real one.
I don't know why they got the little eyeball.
Yeah, they got 'em-
That's off.
Sensitive. Whatever.
I don't even got that on my computer, my laptop. but
Just click on view image.
do an image.
God damn.
But anyway, we're gonna bring out some photos of these individuals. You see this? Look at his face right here. You got individuals
Let
who
me see it real quick.
lost their eyesight.
Zoom in, fam.
Okay.
You can tell they just half-ass put his nose back on.
Yeah.
There you go.
But obviously this man's face got blown off. Like, piece of his face. You see it's all deformed. Okay? And you had individuals. Hold on, let me show it here. Forgot about this. You see this? Now, I'm gonna just bring out one more image. Now look at this guy. Let me zoom in. You see this guy right here? Face completely gone. And that's torment, man. Imagine going through this. You see this? His face is literally gone.
Still alive.
Still alive.
That's why I said they should be tormented.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now going back to the scriptures, in verse 6, and in those days shall men see death. One movie that comes to mind is Forrest Gump. And the guy who ended up being in the wheelchair.
Oh, you talking Lieutenant Dan? Well, that's the spirit. You thought you was thinking Forrest Gump. I was thinking Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
It has the same actor in it, Tom Hanks.
Oh, I didn't know that. But
You ain't seen for Saving Private Ryan?
nah,
Go watch Saving Private Ryan, bro.
kinda. But I believe he got his legs blown off
Yeah.
inside the war.
Yep.
And basically Forrest Gump saved him. And I believe months or a year went by, 2 years, whatnot. It just went by. And Forrest Gump went looking for this guy. And eventually he found him. And as soon as they met, the dude was like, man, why the fuck did you save me, man? I wanted to die there. like, look at me, I don't even got no legs. You know,
Right.
he was in a wheelchair just going in, all right? But he was seeking death,
Right.
you know, and I believe these individuals, a lot of individuals, you know, they look in the mirror, they're like, I'm better off just going.
Right.
When you can't use your eyesight properly, you know, your nose, you can't speak, or just do the things that you used to do in everyday life, man. That's torment, okay? So going back to verse 6, in Revelation 9 and 6.
If I can bring out the word torment
Okay, got it.
in the Greek real quick. Basanizo. It means, I'm just going to go straight to the point. It says to question by applying torture. All right. It's a spirit. I was down with the Miami brothers and we were going into, matter of fact, get Revelation 14. Where it talks about, I want to say like Revelation 14 and 8, maybe. Hold on. Yeah, start at Revelation 14 and 9.
God, this is Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation.
Yep.
And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Yeah, so these two verses give you a clear indication that time does not exist to the Heavenly Father because he's the Ancient of Days. So if they're being tormented in the midst of the fire, meaning the lake of fire, which is the second death, all right, when you go into that word torture, just like I read, it says question by applying torture. So when they're getting tortured in that fire, they're gonna get interrogated by the Lord. And whenever you apply torture, you're usually interrogating.
Yeah.
So when they're burning up in that lake of fire, they're getting questioned. Well, why did you do this or why did you do that? The apex or the pinnacle of the verse that's spoken about in the Gospels, where it says, for every idle word a man shall take account of, that's going to be the pinnacle of that verse coming to pass. All right, because they're going to be tortured in the lake of fire, which ultimately is simply an interrogation process to force them to, and we're talking about the elect, I mean, we're talking about the 2/3,
Yeah,
force them to repent, force them to confess, all right? And best believe there's still going to be, rebellious in the fire.
Yep.
That's how all our people are. Therefore, they have to get tortured in the lake of fire. Think about that.
Boy.
You have to be interrogated in the lake of fire to still get right. You are a proud motherfucker, man. That's some proud shit. All right? We're getting interrogated now when we read about it in Micah, the 7th chapter. We drink the cup of indignation. We've been interrogated this entire time. All right, while it's still day, while we can still work, we're being interrogated. All right. Sometimes being in the truth, you do go through a form of torture. Okay, because you have to get yourself right. All these other people are gonna have to get right and be interrogated when they eat a missile. Okay, so think about that. So let's go back to Revelation the 9th chapter, so we understand what torment is. All right, it's just not, torture. No, there's questions that apply to this. There's interrogation that applies to torture. Okay, that if you look into the FBI tactics, they have tactics to get certain information out of people, and it comes by torture or tormenting them.
Yep.
Okay, why?
Yep.
Simple. Go ahead.
Going back to Revelation 9 and verse 6, and in those days shall man seek death, and shall not find it.
Yes, man shall seek death and not. Hey, the water. I think that's Priest to Zion.
You want me to
Yep. Is you on my page or the Zion?
This your page.
Spirit of prophecy. Yeah, read that. He just pulled it up. Shalom, Yahweh Shemel,
Yeah,
Shai Rakakodash, Barakathon to everyone on the page.
Kind of Shalom. This is Micah 7 and 9. And it reads, I will bear the indignation of the Lord, because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light.
Yep, he will bring me forth to the light. So through the torments that we go through on a day-to-day basis, and it's gonna ramp up. It's gonna ramp up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to be rooted, okay? Because Yahweh Shai spoke about being rooted within yourself, okay? Because of if you're not, then the offenses come by the word, okay? So pretty much what that means is, I'm loosely paraphrasing what Yahweh Shai said. Pretty much what that means is, you've been told these things are gonna happen, and when they start happening, you weren't rooted, so y'all get choked up. Now you're getting offended by the word, but you were told though. You were told this was gonna happen. So the Lord has us going through Micah 7 and 9, the water priest, going through Micah 7 and 9, so we don't get choked up when these things that we read about start happening personally to us. You see what I'm saying? All right.
I can finish it up too.
Yeah.
Finishing up Micah 7 and 9, and it says, and I shall behold his righteousness.
Yep, and I shall behold his righteousness.
Yep.
Because we endured through it, and we already been drinking that cup of indignation that all these people got to drink without mixture. Lord been giving it us with chasers.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of strawberry. We sipping on a very strong strawberry margarita. I'm not trying to paint the picture like it's a light and easy thing that we're going through, but they gonna have to take moonshine to the head, and it's not a shot. It's gonna have to be one of them big boy cups, and they gonna drink it right back, just like that.
It reminds me of Sting of Death.
Sting of death. That's right, bro.
They gonna really feel it.
They gonna really feel that.
Be very gruesome. Even the scripture talks about how they're gonna. Many people gonna have the gnashing of teeth. It's not a pleasant feeling, you know.
That's right. We'll come back and get all you bros precepts too. But the water. Let's keep going.
Kind of. Going back to Revelation chapter 9. Now we're at verse 7. And the shapes of the locusts were like.
Oh, so I can reread verse 6 again.
Okay,
because that completes the torment section. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, you're right. Going up to verse 6. And in those days shall man seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them.
Yeah, so when you torment somebody, you're not trying to kill them. You're not trying to kill somebody if you're torturing them. You're torturing them. All right? That's what you want. Probably to extract information.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, bro.
Kind of continuing on, verse 7, and it reads, and the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle. Because it's like anything you do, like before you go out to work, you have to prepare all your planes, make sure they're running right, etc., etc. You know, you just don't go out there because shit can get fucked up. You know, it says so that's what it means when it says horses prepared unto battle. It was a battle. It's war. Okay.
And the horses
represents power. You know. Now, continuing on to verse 7, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. Okay, which
keep reading.
Okay,
keep reading. Read all the way to verse 9, and we'll go back.
Okay, and they had hair as the hair of woman, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. Okay, and they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. Okay, now I do have some images to back up the scriptures we just read. Give me 1 second. What was it called that you said to look up earlier?
Pickle.
This.
What is it? A pickle.
Something. Hold on, I have it. Hold on, let me see something.
It's called a pickle hob, something like that.
But basically, this is what it is. Okay, it says gold. They had crowns as gold with hair on their heads, right? I'm gonna show it to this camera first. You see this? Especially this one right here. And I believe, which we're about to get into, an individual named Kaiser William Helm. He actually wore this. You see this? Okay.
There it is. There it is. If y'all want the word, it's backwards, I think, but it's called pickle hob or whatever.
Yeah, pickle hob.
Yeah. If y'all want to pause it and look it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But he showed it right there. And we're gonna get into Kaiser Wilhelm, and I'm gonna name some other notable names that you need to know about World War One. All right, because it's just not Kaiser Wilhelm. Okay, he was just one of the main ones. Okay,
Yep.
we'll get into him. Go ahead, bro.
And I believe the brother actually mentioned this earlier, especially in verse 9, where it says, "And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings." Remember, the brother mentioned the wings, like a locust flying right past your ear, or a cicada, or wasp. You can hear that noise, okay? And it says what? And it says, sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. So imagine, you're seeing a whole bunch of planes. There's movies on it. You have the guy with the, I don't know what it's called. He hold up the glow sticks. He told me to go.
Oh, like who directs it? Yeah.
Yeah, and all the planes fly up. Imagine hearing a whole bunch of planes flying at the same time. It's going to sound like a whole bunch of horses, And that's why John the Revelator described it as such. Now, continuing on in verse 10, it says, "And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months," which that's why we went into the 5 months, again represents the 5 years. Okay, torment, to kill you, torment you. All right, to how can I put it? It's like a reminder. Like we them guys, we did this to you, and we can do it again. We can hurt you. Okay, that's what those gunners were set up to do. Those machine gunners. Okay. Now continuing on in verse 11, it says, "And they had a king over them." Now, if I can just say
Read it.
Okay.
Verse 11 through, and we'll come back.
Okay, kind. "And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon," if I'm pronouncing that right. "But in the Greek tongue have his name Apollyon." Now, going back up to verse 11 from the top, it says, "And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit." All right, this is Kaiser William Helm II. All right, and this is the same individual that is being mentioned in verse 1. And I'm gonna, if you don't mind, go back to verse 1. This is Revelation 9 and verse 1. "And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth." All right, that's where it says that star. That's Kaiser William Helm. All right. And what was given unto him? It says what? "And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit." All right. So imagine somebody gave you a key and they point at the door like, "Here go a key. Go to that door." That's the door of opportunity. Well, Kaiser William Helm, he obtained that key. And this is the will of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. He obtained that key to go to war. And that's exactly what he did.
Right.
Okay.
So now now you can do your research. Again, this is an overview. Do your research on Kaiser Wilhelm. He was a German emperor during that time. You need to research on so give you just off the rip, off a few names off the top. What started World War One? They claim it to be the killing of the Archduke Ferdinand and his wife in an assassination. It was like during a parade. So you need to look him up. Look up Kaiser Wilhelm. You need to look up Woodrow Wilson, who was the president of the United States during that time. What's some more? King George, I think the 5th. the United Kingdom. You need to look him up. Look up the emperor or the ruler of Australia during that time as well. Don't need to look up the emperor of Japan. He really didn't have any during that time. He didn't really have too much political power during that time because Japan's empire was just getting started. They really got big once World War II came to play. What's another few? Let's see. Albert the First. I think he was the head of. Matter of fact, look up Albert the First, World War I. I think he was the head of Belgium, if I'm not mistaken. You could look up these names. All right, if you need to, I'm going through it quick, so if you need to rewind it, you can go back. Wait, let me see. Was that correct? Yep. So Albert the First. He was the king of the Belgians, who led the Belgian army during the World War I and guided his country post-war recovery. So he was another big name. All right. So I'm just shooting names out. It was a world war, so I would highly recommend you look up every country who was partaking in that world war the first time and study about it. All right. Another good movie to watch is Kingsman. Kingsman, one of the Kingsmen had all three of the top leaders in it. I'm not going to say it on camera.
Okay.
But
I think we watched that too.
Yeah. It was like a prequel. The prequel one. It didn't have that one young guy in it. It was a prequel. Let me see if I can find it. All right.
And then if I can say too, when you do history on Kaiser William, he moved like a snake. He was always like around in the background. It kind of reminds me of Vespasian.
Yeah. Yep. So the Kingsman I'm talking about is Kingsman, the Secret Service. All right. You need to watch. You seen that one?
Not that one.
Yeah. Watch this one.
Yeah, I've seen the other ones though.
You watch this one, it's going to remind you of Revelation, the 9th chapter. So watch this Kingsman. All right. So the Kingsmen or Kingsman, and this is good. It has that one black guy from Blood Diamond in it. Real good. Matter of fact, that's the spirit. I'm gonna zoom in. You see those three men right there? That's embodying like King George, Kaiser Wilhelm, and I forgot the other one. I want to say Ferdinand, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's one of them.
Yep. So those three men are who we speaking about today, or right now. Go watch that movie. All right, go check that movie out. You'll see it. You know, yes, I'll say it. You know, me personally, I'm speaking as a man. How about that? Aha. So don't quote me on it. I'm speaking as a man. When you go into those three men who are spoken about in that are played in that, I believe they're just a reincarnation of maybe the heads of when you read in the Apocrypha, in the Maccabees. All right, I think they're a reincarnation because they did almost the same exact thing. Kaiser Wilhelm was a power of like the West or whatever, or the East, whatever, and they were all powers of different sectors fighting against each other. You know, but that's neither here nor there. Don't quote me on it. All right, so let's keep going. Oh, one thing I did want to mention, it said Abaddon and Apollyon. Apollyon means destroyer, and the other one means destruction. All right, so very similar but different at the same time. All right, so let's keep going, bro.
Kind of continuing on, Revelation 9 and 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter.
Right. So.
I was just gonna simply say, just let you know, World War I is over with now.
Yeah.
And it says two more woes, are coming hereafter, meaning it's gonna explain about World War II. It's gonna get into future prophecy about World War III.
Right.
Okay.
So now I do want to say there's not much detail in Revelation about World War II.
Yeah.
But it's mentioned. All right. And the scriptures speak about three woes, all right? But it heavily speaks about World War I and III, and briefly mentions World War II. Now, also, too, if y'all want to write this in your notes, if you're following along, verse 12 is also speaking about the Treaty of Versailles, all right? So if you want to pull up Treaty of Versailles again, and there's some information. So I did mention some heads of certain nations, and one of the nations that you gotta, of course, understand is America and their stance in World War I. They had the same stance of World War I as they did World War II. They didn't want to fucking get involved. At the end of the day, they started, once they got involved, the war ended. All right? That goes to show you America is that whore that sits on top of the beast, man. You're telling me a woman sits on top of a... Oh, Salaki, is that...
Yeah, I'll check it.
Yeah, check that. A woman sits on top of a beast and controls a beast. You know what I'm saying? That she has a lot of influence and power, okay? Which America does, has a lot of influence and power around the world. And usually when they enter into wars, it concludes. All right, because they going in and just start wrecking shop.
Yeah, I think it.
You know, it's probably Esau, to be honest with you, because we're going off of two streams. I know y'all are watching this one on my page, but we're going off of Zion. Says the time is still rolling.
Yeah, it's just, oh man, it's just some weird shit.
Like, we gonna keep going off of this page, man. All right, but the Treaty of Versailles, America rejected that treaty twice. They rejected that treaty twice. Go look it up, all right? And the Senate, or you can say Congress or whatever, kept bypassing President Wilson, all right? And they rejected that treaty twice, 2 times, all right? But pretty much that treaty ended the war. So you can read that little paragraph on it.
Okay, Khan, this is some quick information on the Treaty of Versailles, if I'm pronouncing it right. It says was signed on June 28, 1919, excuse me, in the Palace of Versailles, France. The treaty ended World War I by formally ending the state of war between Germany and most of the Allied powers. The treaty was the result of 6 months of Allied negotiations at the Paris Peace Conference. And Germany was not allowed to participate in the negotiations before signing.
Hey man, it's still running.
Oh, it is? Let me see.
But it's just audio. But it's cool, bro. It's all good.
Oh yeah, the spirit.
It's all good. It's the spirit. I think Esau just trying to cut that particular one off. I'm not sure. But yeah, so that gives you information on the Treaty of Versailles. Let's keep reading. The last part, we're going to breeze through it. But that's pretty much World War III and the missiles, man.
Now continuing on in verse 13, Revelation 9 and 13, and it says, angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar, which is before the Most High, saying to the 6th angel, which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels, which were bound in the great river Euphrates. If I can say right quick, that's prophecy. Because even if you do a simple research, there's a lot of studies saying that the river Euphrates is actually drying up.
We'll get that.
Okay.
That's Revelation 16.
Oh, I was thinking about the article. So like,
let's get what the Lord said about it.
come on, give me 1 sec. Can't blood.
It's probably like verse 12 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, verse 12.
It's Revelation 16 and verse 12. And the 6th angel poured out his veil upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
Yep, and that's the spirit, because we're going into verse 13. Where are we in? Verse 15 right now? Or 14?
Yeah, 15.
This is speaking about the 6th trump. All right, and that was the 6th angel who was going to do that to the river Euphrates. So the kings of the east, Russia, China, all of that, Japan, Taiwan, all of them could come to the Middle East to fulfill Joel, the 3rd chapter. All right.
It's nothing new. Just like where it says, oh yeah, verse 7, where it says, and the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle. It's happening all over again.
That's right.
You see, Russia, they flexing their, the military. China's flexing their military. Hey, they're being prepared. For what? World War III. You know? Continuing on in verse 15, Revelation 9 and 15. And the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men.
Yep, which is the wicked.
Yep.
You know, the third part of man is the wicked. Okay? Because where else do you find that? Where do you find the third part of men? Genesis.
Yep,
The 6th chapter. It speaks about the sons of men, sons of the wicked, the sons of God. Okay? Ultimately, the wicked is Esau. So that third part, you're gonna wipe out Esau's ass. Okay? Go ahead.
Continuing on in verse 16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. Basically 200 million warheads.
Yep.
Okay, continuing on in verse 17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of ginseng, and of brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire, and smoke, and brimstone.
Keep going. Keep
Con.
going.
Verse 18, and these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issue out of their mouths.
Keep going. One more verse.
For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt.
So now you can explain verse 17 through 19.
So basically it's
Synopsis.
given characteristics of what these warheads look like, or the missiles, I should say. All right, it talks about the breastplate, which is basically the middle part of the missile. It talks about and the heads were like, and the heads of the horses were like as the heads of lions, because if you think about a head of a lion, well, what's the strength of a lion? All right, and its jaws and its teeth. Okay, so therefore the power, all that destruction is going to be all the way in the missile, but the warhead, the front,
Right.
because once it hit its target, that what creates the detonation of the, the mushroom cloud, et cetera, the wind, the destroying wind or whatnot. Okay, and then it says, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Okay, and then it also talks about the silos, because that's where the missile's actually going to come out of, with a flip of a switch or a press of a button. Okay, so that's pretty much a quick, rundown on what it looks like. Verse 20. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of their works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts.
Yep, and that's what we were going into earlier about the torments, and that's why the lake of fire is going to come, and that's why the Lord said, "You're like your father, the devil."
Yep.
That's speaking about 2/3 as well, too. You can apply the 2/3 to that script. Okay, that's because y'all been doing these sorceries and stuff just like your daddy, Esau.
Yep.
Get Isaiah 47.
Con. This is Isaiah.
Isaiah 47 and 12.
This is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail.
Keep going.
Thou art weary, in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly
Prognosticators.
the water, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
Right. All right, you can stop it right there. But pretty
Right.
much that's speaking about the sorceries they did, just like it's speaking about the Revelation, the 9th chapter, which they're not going to repent from. And pretty much the Lord is saying, yeah, stand up with this, because at the end of the day, we read it in 2nd Esdras, or we have read it in 2nd Esdras, that they were scared, but yet there's fight. So the Lord's like, yeah, come with all you got, because I'm coming with everything I got. I want to fight. You know what I'm saying? This fight is going to end up looking like Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence. All right? It's surprising to them landslide victory. You know what I'm saying?
You know, Esau gonna be looking like you know, I always throw it in there. Martin.
Yo.
You know, he had a big ass head.
That's what he's going to look like.
Big lumps. Esau gonna get beat the fuck up.
Yep, it's going to be a landslide victory.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're not going to repent for the sorceries. Therefore, prophecy furthers on the destruction of the Edomites. All right? So that was pretty much an overview. I would say quick, but it wasn't. It's about an hour, but hey, that's just how the Spirit had it.
Yeah.
But we hit the points. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, that was edifying. You had any closing precept?
Nah.
All right. Okay. Con. So with that, we want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Until the next time, I want to say shalom.
Shalom.
And like always, repent. Did I say that already? Repent, for Yahweh Shai is coming back sooner than what me and you believe. All right, shalom.
Shalom.
I got it.
Okay, come on.